Good. We are looking at word problems on ratio. Word problems on ratio. And I just wrote down some simple steps which you would follow to arrive at your solution or solution to the question you're given. We've gone through definition. We've gone through how to simplify ratio, how to write it as a fraction, how to simplify when by whole numbers, fraction, by decimal, equivalent ratio. So today, or right now, we'll be looking at word problems and ratio. Now, the first thing you do is you find the sum of ratio in the question given. That's the first thing you do. The next thing is you write each part. That's each part. For example, you see, in this question, you have 3 ratio 5. 3 is one part and 5 is another part. You write each part over the sum you found in the first point, then multiply by what you are sharing. And the next thing you do is you solve. Now we'll be taking the first question. It says 48 naira was shared between Obi and Emeka in the ratio 3:5. How much did Obi receive? We are looking for Obi's share. How much did Obi receive? So what's the first thing you do? Number one thing, sum of ratio. Find your sum of ratio. Sum of ratio will now be equal to sum, simply means addition. So 3 plus 5, that gives us 8. Our sum of ratio is 8. What's the next thing? Write each part over the sum. So our first part is 3, which represents what? Obi. 5 represents Emeka. Now this is how you present it. Obi ratio Emeka. So Obi's part is what? 3. Emeka's part is what? 5. So write each part over the sum of ratio and multiply by what you are sharing. What are we sharing? 48 naira for Obi and Emeka. But the question says find Obi's share, so we don't need to find this. So we're looking for this. We're looking for Obi's share because the question says how much did Obi receive? We're looking for Obi's share. So Obi will now be equal to, Obi's part is 3. Write each part 3 over the sum of ratio. What's our sum of ratio? 8. What are we sharing? 48 naira. So we solve. 8 here, 1. 8 here, 6. 3 times 6 gives us what? 18 naira. Don't forget your units. Very, very vital. So Obi received 18 naira. We're moving over to number 2 question. Number 2 question says, if 630 sweets were distributed among Betty, Lucy, and Omo in the ratio of 2:3:4, how many sweets does Omo get? Now, the first thing you do is, we have 3 people there. We have Betty, ratio Lucy, ratio Omo. If you remember very well, one of the things I said when we started off this class, I said that ratios must be written in order. Very, very important. So don't forget that. Betty, Lucy, and Omo. So Betty, ratio Lucy, ratio Omo. This is how it was shared. The sweets were shared. So this will be 2 ratio 3 ratio 4. The question says, how many sweets does Omo get? We are looking for Omo's share. This is what we are looking for, Omo's share. So what's the first thing you do? Sum of ratio. Find the sum of ratio. So our sum of ratio gives us 2 plus 3 plus 4. 2 plus 3 gives us 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. So what do we look for? Omo. What do we do? Write Omo's share over the sum times what we are sharing. So Omo will be equal to 4, which is her part, her share, over the sum of Rachel is 9 times, what are many sweets? 630 sweets. So 630. 9 here is 1. 9 into 63 is 7. 9 into 0, 0. So 9 into 630 is 70. Now, 4, don't forget, because one thing students do, they forget to multiply. That's one thing. You forget to multiply. So always check what you have on this side. Don't just write 70 as your answer. No, you check it. We have 4 left here. So 4 times 70 gives us 280. So Omo gets 280 sweets. That's Omo's share. We're moving over to number 3 question. And one thing about this, about number 3 question is we'll be dealing with fractions. So please work with me.